Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. I'm Jesse, and I'm going to be doing a short devotional on Jeremiah chapter 44. Now, this devotional is specifically on verses 15 through 23, but I encourage you to read the whole chapter. It's a really great portion of Jeremiah. So in this chapter, we see that the prophet is warning Israel, specifically the tribe of Judah, to turn from their sin. He's explaining to them that it's specifically because of this sin that they were sent into exile. However, they didn't receive this warning very well. They kind of got a little bit irate. It seemed like when you're reading the passages, you're like, oh, okay, they seem a little annoyed because they pretty much doubled down on their actions. They justified their sin and kind of insinuated that God, Yahweh, was the problem. In verses 15 and 18, it also indicates that the husbands of these families, of these households, they knew that things contrary to their covenant with God was going on in their house, and they were okay with it because they said nothing. They pretty much participated partly due to their lack of action. And this kind of shadows and kind of reminds you of the Garden of Eden and what happened with Adam and Eve. And so it got me thinking that sometimes we see sinful things occur in our families or they're occurring in our lives, and we overlook them. We may overlook them because we feel that things are going well for us or for them. And so, what's it really hurting? It must be okay. But then when we are corrected or the sin is pointed out, we get kind of defensive and we double down, kind of condoning it, trying to justify the sin instead of trying to purge it from our house or from our lives. I don't know, it could be things like a relationship that your son and daughter are in or that you are in. It could be a show or an activity that your husband or wife is participating in or doing. It could be a job. It could be an attitude. I mean, you name it. But sin reaps destruction, disorder, and death, and separation from God and his blessings, exile, just like the Israelites were in. So things may be going well for a time, but reality will kick in just as it did for Israel, for the Israelites. You see, the problem is not because of God. The problem is because of a lack of God in their lives. Don't let the lack of God hinder your way back. Don't allow your family to remain in exile. Bring your family back to the promised land where they will reap God's blessings. Humbly submit, repent to the will of God, correct, rebuke, and be able to receive correction and rebuke. This is the way back. 1 John 2:15 through 17 also says, do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and pride of life, is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world is passing away along with its desires, but whoever does the will of God abides forever. You see, part of our walk is understanding when we've done something wrong. And just like I said, the echoes of Adam and Eve, right? The echoes of the Garden of Eden. Instead of blaming other people or trying to justify what you have just did, or seeing someone do something and saying nothing because, oh, well, it's not my problem. We have an obligation to call things out, especially in our homes. And we have an obligation to always recenter ourselves, to look within and to see, search my heart, O Lord. Is there any deceit? Is there any wrong in me? I want you to purge that from me. And instead of giving excuses, let's humbly submit. Let's receive that correct. Let's receive that rebuke. And let's be able to do that for others in a loving way, because when we correct, we're hoping that they will repent and turn back to the Lord as well. So don't hinder your way back. God bless.